welcome back. My name is Lightworker Whit, and I'm so excited to get into your full moon reading for January 2025, and it is in the sign of Cancer. Now, we've got a lot to go over today, okay? So we're going to look into what cycle is closing for you, what's the challenge or the obstacle, and what is the outcome. I'm going to try to move expeditiously today. I'm not going to try to spend too much time over-interpreting. I want you to get the message. I want you to get the meat and potatoes of it so that you can really apply this to your life as soon as possible, especially because today is the new moon. I'm not filming this in advance as I typically would. So I want to make sure I get this to you as quickly as possible. Now remember, this is a collective reading, so receive what resonates, release what doesn't. And if there's anything that you would like further explanation on, feel free to go to my website, book a full moon reading. Those are 30 minutes, and I price those a little bit less than my normal readings because a full moon reading is pretty quick. We don't need to unpack so much, but if you'd like, feel free to tack on event session. But full moons are usually powerful for 3 days before and 3 days after. So if that's interesting to you, go ahead to my website and book a full moon reading. We can see a little bit more in detail for you specifically what this full moon is going to be highlighting. Now, I just want to announce a couple things. First of all, Happy New Year. I think this is my first video that I'm posting of the new year. And I want to let you know that starting in February, really effective now, you can join my membership on my YouTube called Light Keepers, okay? And actually, I am moving my monthly forecast to membership. And I made that decision. I made a whole post about it. If you haven't seen it, feel free to go ahead and read it, but I'm going to summarize the key points here. But I made that decision because I felt like that's the best decision for me right now as a small channel that is still growing. And it's the best way that I feel I can get an even energy exchange for the time investment that it takes to create those videos. So if that's interesting to you, if you love my monthly forecast, please go and become a member. And that also really inspires me to be consistent because I've been very inconsistent for the past year, and that's largely because I have to prioritize other money-making avenues. But by switching the way I deliver this content, that's really gonna help me stay consistent. So I appreciate you in advance. For those of you who decide to become a member, it's only $4.99 a month, which I think is really reasonable. So go ahead and become a member because the early subscribers are who I'll be creating this content for, all right? I'll be working on the monthly forecast for February starting this week. So that will be really exciting to have some new members, okay? Now, if you'd like to check out any of my other offerings, check the description box below. Everything that your heart desires is there for you. All right, let's go ahead and dive in, y'all. Let's dive in. So first, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get the major theme of this full moon for the collective, okay? So here we go. Let's see what jumps out for us. This is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. You guys know I like to use this deck, especially for new and full moons. We got two. So the first, actually three. Okay, two flipped over, one is face down. So the first one I see is acceptance, okay? First one I see is acceptance. Interesting. The one right behind it was purity, which I actually think is quite, on point because, it is winter for me here in Jersey. We've been getting a lot of snow because it's called the snow moon. And it's usually, this message is usually about when things are really peaceful and calm. I'm gonna read that message. And then growth. Okay, love that for us. Growth. I don't know that I'm going to read all three. Because, I don't know. You know what? I will. Okay, we're gonna read all three because that's what Spirit gave us. Okay, so in order for acceptance, here we go. Acceptance of the current situation is the first step to change. The past does not exist. The future hasn't happened. There's only right now. The affirmation is, I accept where I am and who I am right now. That's really good because that is personally something that I have been meditating on. When we examine our lives and engage in some truth-telling, we are often confronted with what really is. The realization is powerful, but often we reject this truth if it is too hard to bear or we are afraid of accepting something so difficult. Each of us at some time has dodged our blind spots and then had the illumination of what actually is eventually confront us. And had the illumination of what actually is eventually confront us. What we do next is crucial. We accept exactly where we are, no matter how painful or confronting. Why can't I say confronting today? No matter how painful or confronting, or do we retreat back into our illusions and remain stuck or unchanging? Choosing to accept ourselves fully and the position we are in enables us to take that next step towards growth. When we can plant our feet solidly into the earth and say, yes, here is exactly where I am and I accept this fully. Then we can take the next steps confidently, honestly, and powerfully towards where we now wish to head. Accepting where we are right now is in its fullness. Y'all, just where we made it at. Accepting where we are right now in its fullness allows us to also accept that there may be some chaos in our change before there is full order again. This can be an exciting feeling rather than one that generates fear if we hold our new intentions clearly. The companion stone is lepidolite. I do have that stone somewhere, but I don't know where it is, so... If you would like to work with acceptance, work with the stone lepidolite. Feel free to Google it. I want to speak about that before I talk about the next card. You know, a lot of you guys, you've been following my journey, so you know from the fall of me moving out of my apartment into this townhouse, I knew that there would be a lot of change with this because this is a new level, and when you have new levels, you have new devils. I was unprepared for the emotional turmoil of the change, and I knew that I would have to step into a different version of myself to maintain this new frequency, right? But it has really been challenging. It has really, really been challenging, and something I've been speaking to myself recently the past couple days is acceptance. And like Whitney, you need to, number one, be patient with yourself and accept and acknowledge, know you're not where you want to be, but you also have to make changes. The old version of you is not the version of you that can maintain this new frequency. And change is hard. And that's why I like how it said, also accept that there may be some chaos in our change before there's full order again. And sitting in that chaos is really uncomfortable. It really is, but you have to grow through it. I actually think it's interesting because the next card is actually growth. So I'm going to read growth first, and then I'll go back to purity, okay? This is a long message, so let's just pray that I get through this clearly. The summary is: reject stagnancy to get unstuck, take action. The choice to grow should be made. Expect growing pains when making huge changes in your life. Change is a natural part of life and cannot be pushed against forever. Change should have aim and purpose. Be courageous, you will blossom. The affirmation is, I choose growth. I'm going to try to go slowly so I don't butcher this reading right now. Think of a willow tree. Willows often grow on the sandy banks of highly shiftable and changeable rivers. Yet they reach huge sizes, successfully growing and holding fast in an unpredictable habitat. How do they do this? When you see a young willow on the banks, for a long while, it just looks like a feeble stick. It may have a few branches and leaves, but at first, the trunk will be fine and flexible rather than robust. What we don't see immediately is the root base. The willow spends a lot of time establishing a vertebral root city under the surface. These roots are long and strong and very numerous, finding their way into many nooks and crannies, holding on to rocks, other established tree roots, and anything that can help with their stability. These roots go off in all directions, thus securing their position just in case the earth begins to shift. Ooh, that's powerful. Then, and only then, once these root networks are established well enough, does the willow put its energy into further growth. The trunk begins to thicken and widen and harden and travel upwards to the sky. However, as they grow, the branches have a little of the trunk's supportive thickness. They have instead the instruction that they must be flexible. Hold on, I'm processing what I just read. Hold on. The trunk begins to thicken and widen and harden and travel upwards to the sky. However, as they grow, the branches have little of the trunk's supportive thickness. They haven't said this. Okay. Flexible means they can turn with the sun and survive punishing winds that might threaten to topple the rest of the tree. All of this growth is done with purpose and a divine strategy. The waxing lunar cycle calls for growth, but not growth without aim or purpose. When we understand our current position, accept it, and decide to change, we will naturally grow as people. We might experience some growing pains. After all, transformation of any kind is rarely completely easy and trouble-free. Having a strong intention of what the results of our growth will be helps with gaining the courage and resilience to move forward with our growth and into the eventual blossoming of our true self. The companion stone is Charoite. Charoite. I don't know how to pronounce that. I thought that was a really good message. And as I read it, I thought, I was like, oh, I know what this message means, like, whatever. But as I read this message, I'm like, oh, that actually really resonates right now. And I've been talking about this a little bit on my different platforms, but I'm going to be starting a new vlog series called Road to Riches. And I'm definitely going to take you on this journey with me on how it is I'm planning to build my wealth, because I feel like for the past 4 years, I've had a very up and down bumpy journey when it comes to my finances and being an entrepreneur, struggling with going back to work, doing temp work, and having a lot of odd jobs to like keep money coming in. But I really want to be a person that like gains stability through my work, because as being a business owner, it's a blessing to get stability, but you don't always have it, even if you have a storefront, like you open up a new restaurant, you can't dictate who comes in and sits down and eat at your restaurant. So you have to be able to ride those storms and those droughts. And I really want to get to that place where I have stability and grow wealth for myself. So I'm going to take you on that journey because I feel like, number one, it will allow me to remain accountable and consistent. And number two, I think it will inspire and help you, as I know many of my viewers are wanting to build wealth and abundance for themselves as well. And I don't want to gatekeep. So I'm going to whatever I figure out that works for me, I'm going to share it with you. But I think that's really interesting. And that's personally how growth relates to me, because I feel like I need to establish a good root structure, because I don't have it right now. Child, right now the wind can blow and I'm gone. I am just stick a fork in me. I'm done. I have a no solid root structure at all right now, at all. Okay. And that's not even financially, that's emotionally, that's physically. Honey, I've really had to come to a lot of acceptance personally of, okay, bitch, we need to make some changes. Okay. We cannot keep doing certain things and expecting better results. So hopefully that's resonating with you. So let's read our last message, snow moon, purity, and then let's move on. These messages are really hitting today. I really wasn't expecting that. Okay, here we go. Look for the simplest and cleanest solution. Understand your motives for doing what you are doing. Be as clear as possible in your communication. The affirmation is, I know why I do what I do. Oh, this is good. I really see how all these messages connect today, because before I read the full message, because the growth was just talking about have aim and have purpose. You got to know where you're going. The willow tree knows they're securing their root structure because they're trying to make sure that they're locked in before they go above ground, so that they know once they really begin to grow that they locked in, that they're unmovable, right? That's its aim and purpose. And so right now, this is a message for you to determine what is your aim and your purpose, right? Understand your motives for doing what you're doing. What is your goal? What is your vision? What is your direction? The word purity now seems to have a kind of loaded moral quality. Anytime I mention the word, people mostly think about how it's used in religions or in morals. For example, the purity of virgins, the purity of no sex before marriage, the purity of celibacy, the purity of bloodline, or certain extreme right-wing groups. No wonder we use the word with some trepidation. The purity I refer to here is the purity of the silver moon on the unmarked snow, the simple purity of intention that nature demonstrates, the purity of clean water in a mountain stream, the purity of one single purpose. The Cambridge Dictionary defines this kind of purity as being clean or free from harmful substances. And I guess in our world, so full of pollution and damage to the environment, that may be well hard to find. However, the ancients looked at the cycles that brought ice and snow as a sort of reset button, a time when everything lay fallow for a while and brought with it a kind of simplicity. These times were hard, but if we were prepared for them, we would survive. These are good reasons to strive for a kind of positive purity in our lives. Being precise with our language and as clear as we can be in our communications means fewer miscommunications and misunderstandings in our relationships and work life. Keeping our intentions pure and untainted with lower energies such as jealousy, revenge, or unworthiness as much as possible means that our motivations are pure and not muddy in their reasoning. Companion stone is clear quartz, which I do actually have out and about. I always have my clear quartz here. I always have it. Will you focus? There we go. Clear quartz, it's a clear point. Okay. I like to use it sometimes for clarity. Being clean or free from harmful substances. A lot of people are doing dry January. So maybe, some of y'all might be detoxing. I'm fake detoxing. I'm not fully committed. I'm like 0.5 detoxing. Like I'm just, normally in the past, I would have done like a clean break of like going cold turkey, no carbs, no sugar, no alcohol. I feel like I have too much going on that I can't do everything at once right now. I can't try to secure my root system and also not have bread. Like it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. So whatever that means to you, take that in. How can you purify your life? I think is a better way to look at that, and maybe what this full moon is encouraging you to do. So that's lovely. That's lovely. Our messages here. I'm actually going to go ahead and stop this video here just so I know where I end with my messages, and when we get into our zodiac readings, starting with Aries. Where's my little stop button? There it is. Okay, so Aries, let's go ahead and look and see. Oop, Empress is coming out for you. We're looking into, babe, what cycle is closing for you? What is the potential challenge or obstacle? And then what is the outcome, okay? What cycle is closing for Aries, please? What is the... Okay. If it's not the Four of Swords... Okay, the Four of Swords came out. We're going to take it. It flipped out. What is the potential obstacle or challenge? And what is the outcome of this full moon for Aries, please? Outcome of this full moon for Aries. So when I say outcome, I mean about probably by the 16th, okay? All right. Here we go. Let's flip them. Five of Cups. The cycle that's closing is grief, sadness, loss, feeling alone. I do actually know of an Aries that has been struggling with, they just kind of worried for their mother. Their mother has been having some health issues. So, maybe that's similar. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to you, right? But maybe you've been in a space of like sadness and like uncertainty and feeling a little sad, maybe feeling a little seasonal depression, okay? For whatever reason, whether it's related to other people in your life or just things that you're going through. But usually there's some sort of grief, sadness, or loneliness. Sometimes also regret that comes with the Five of Cups. So that cycle is closing for you. Love to see that. Potential challenge or obstacle. The moon coming up here. This could be a Pisces, but the moon also does represent anxieties, fears, illusions and hidden truths, things that you can't see clearly, metaphorically, things you don't quite fully understand. That whenever I think of the moon, I always think of fog. You see kind of how like even in the background, it's kind of like a cloudy night. I was even thinking about this last night. You couldn't even really see the moon clearly because there was so much cloudiness. So when I think of the moon, I think of cloudiness. Your judgment is clouded, and you have to lean into your intuition for that clarity. And a lot of times our judgment is clouded because of fear, because of worry, because of doubt, because of anxiety. It's those lower vibrational feelings that cause the uncertainty. You know what I'm getting here, Aries, and I'm still thinking about this person that I know who's like worried about their mother or concerned. As far as the obstacle here, I feel like you're afraid to continue living your life. If this is connecting with you, just, you know, just rock with this for a minute. You may be feeling like I don't know if it's safe for me to move on because I don't want to feel guilty. I don't want to seem as if like I don't care. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. You don't want to seem like you don't care by choosing to move on. There's a little fear and anxiety about that, but you know that you can't stay in this energy. And my response to that would be, if you're worried that someone would think something like that you don't really care, then you just do your best to reassure them that you do. But it's not your responsibility on how they perceive and interpret things. You do your best, show up the best way that you can, and that's really it. That's really it. I think if you're thinking about this, you're already not an inconsiderate person. You know, an inconsiderate person wouldn't be worried about this. They'd be like, well, I gotta move on and I gotta, you know, I'm gonna go do my thing because I can't be stuck in this bullshit. They're not even thinking about, oh, I don't want this person to think I don't care. I'm not there for them. You know what I mean? So let's just already acknowledge that you do care. So I don't think that you as an empathetic person could portray detachment in that sense. I don't know if that was the right word I want to use, but you get my meaning. Let's see the outcome. The outcome is the Page of Swords, communication, air sign energy as well, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Page of Swords is also somebody who's very intellectual. They're eager to learn. They are eager to communicate, get their thoughts out there, spread the word about something. Maybe also even they want to be recognized as well for their intelligence and their thoughts and ideas. I also feel like there will be some communication about your feelings. This, you know, the challenge might be the processing of the emotions for you, Aries, but eventually you will get to a place where you're like, okay, I understand why I feel what I feel. Going back to this growth card and this acceptance, I understand now of like how I feel and what I need to do. And, you know, this clarity that we have here is allowing you to feel like you can communicate and make the next necessary changes to purify your life in a way right now. The Four of Swords, like I said, came out while I was shuffling for potential challenge. I do still kind of think like you don't want to seem like you don't care, but I just feel like, Aries, you can't stay in this energy. Like, you know that you have to get out of this energy, especially because you're an active person. So like you don't like to be stagnant for too long. And I feel like this energy, I feel like the new moon in Capricorn, I didn't make notes for the new moon in Capricorn, did I? I guess I didn't. Wow, that feels like a lifetime ago. I'm like, did I even make content about the new moon? I don't know. I really don't know. I think I did. I just don't think I don't think that I posted it on TikTok. I feel like you gotta shift the energy. Okay. Let me know if that's resonating. Drop a comment below. Let me know how this is connecting with you. If this is feeling like, yeah, been feeling stuck. I need to get out of this. I feel a little stagnant. Because that's really what it feels like to me. But it feels like you're concerned about somebody else's feelings of how you will be perceived this full moon. That's really the reading I'm getting from this. But this could connect to you in other ways. I hope that was helpful, Aries. Let's go ahead and move on to Taurus. I gotta like figure out how to, okay, here it is. used to be able to pause. Oh, there it is, down there. Hi, Taurus. All right, so we're going to be looking into what cycle is closing for you, what's a potential challenge or obstacle, and then what is the outcome, okay? So let's go ahead and see what that is for you, Taurus. What cycle is closing for Taurus, please? What is the potential challenge for Taurus to close this cycle? And what is the outcome for Taurus, please? Ooh, Seven of Pentacles wants to come out, which is about patience. Ace of Pentacles just flipped out, so we'll take that as your outcome, okay? Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Now, Aries just had the Five of Cups, but you have it in a different position. So I'm just going to, because the Ace of Pentacles flipped out, I'm just going to pull an extra card for outcome just in case. What is the outcome for Taurus in this full moon, please? Yeah, I got the Fool. So yeah, there's a new beginning either way. Okay. Ace of Pentacles and Fool is kind of synonymous a little bit. There's a new opportunity, a new beginning, a new start, but I'll get into that. So the cycle that's closing for you is the Devil. The Devil represents quite a lot of things, okay? The Devil can represent playfulness in its most positive sense. It can represent sex, sexuality, and attachments. It usually refers to attachments, but that can be attachment to anything. It could be attachment to a person. A lot of times it is connected to attachments, willing attachments like work, especially because it represents a sign of Capricorn, which is a very hard-working sign. So when I see the Devil, sometimes I associate it with work obligations. But for you here, I feel that you are freeing yourself of attachments. I don't use reversals in the Street Priestess Tarot. So I feel that, and a lot of times the Devil reverse represents releasing yourself from attachments. But because the obstacle and the challenge here is the Five of Cups, this is going to be difficult. This is going to feel emotional and challenging and hard. The Five of Cups represents grief, sadness, and loss, sometimes regret and loneliness as well. So I feel that there is a cycle where you're releasing yourself from some sort of attachment, some sort of bond. And it might be a bittersweet thing as well, like something you love but also need to release here. Again, we've got that growth and acceptance card here, but you're needing to clean the slate, or releasing yourself, purifying your life, or releasing yourself of things that are muddying the waters, if you will, of your life. You're setting yourself free in some way, because the outcome here, Taurus, we had the Ace of Pentacles that fell out, which is new opportunity and new offer. A lot of times when we have an ace, it represents an offer being presented, but it doesn't guarantee success. The Fool here represents a new journey, a new beginning, a fresh start. You don't really know what's ahead, but you're just trusting the path. You're prepared for shit to go left. You're prepared for shit to go amazingly well, but either way it goes, you don't really know what's behind door number 3, right? You're just trusting that that's the way to go. There's a little naivety sometimes with the Fool, because it's new beginning. Like, you don't know what you don't know yet. You know what I mean? But you're willing. There's a willingness here. To me, Taurus, it's really feeling like I can't go back. That's what I'm hearing. I can't go back. I'm hearing I can't go back. I feel like there's a situation that is potentially toxic or unhealthy for you, despite whatever positives you might have been getting from it. And perhaps other people are the one that might be feeling your absence, but I feel like, Taurus, you're like, no, I can't live like this anymore. That's what I'm hearing for you, Taurus. I've got to go on this new journey, this new venture here, because this is not it. That's what I'm getting. If that's resonating with you, Taurus, please drop a comment below. Let me know how it's connecting with you. But that's my message for you, okay? Let's move on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Hi, baby. All right, so we're looking into for you what cycle is closing this full moon in Cancer. What is the potential obstacle or challenge? And then what is the outcome for you this full moon, okay? Nine of Wands, Ace of Wands, the Empress wants to come out. To me, quick message here. A new opportunity maybe presenting itself that you've been working at for a while that potentially is going to allow you to relax, that will allow you greater comfort. Quick message that just fell out. So I'm just, feel free to look those cards up if you'd like, but I'll follow my normal process. Just wanted to deliver the message that Spirit wanted to communicate. All right, for my Geminis, please, Spirit. What cycle is closing for them? And what is the potential challenge? That's so interesting. We've got divine counterparts here. And what is the outcome, please? The Nine of Wands wants to come out again. I'm actually going to take it. What is the outcome? Like it just kind of gently flipped over. I don't know. You guys probably didn't see it. What is the outcome for Gemini, please? Five of Pentacles. Can you please clarify that, please, for Gemini? What is the outcome of this full moon for Gemini? Outcome of this full moon for Gemini, please. We're going to have to clarify yours with a Kipper because I just want to make sure I understand. Please clarify the outcome of this moon for Gemini. Please, for... Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so these... Okay. Gemini, I feel like you're going to have to rough it for a while. Whatever that means to you. Okay, here we go. The cycle that's closing is the King of Swords. The King of Swords does represent the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But this is someone who is quite intelligent, someone who is an expert on a subject matter. They communicate very well. They operate off of logic and wisdom, not emotion. What's interesting here is that the challenge was the Queen of Swords. So we have divine counterpart here. So maybe you're dealing with... So this represents air sign masculine, whether feminine or whether male or female. This represents air sign feminine, whether male or female. Does that make sense? So divine counterparts here. Now, with this being in the position of potential challenge or obstacle, I feel like this is you wanting to be right. The Queen of Swords, while she is all of the qualities of the King of Swords, she's very perceptive. And she's very no fuss, she's very no bullshit, okay? She doesn't take a lot of shit, she's been through too much, and she doesn't have a lot of patience, okay? She's, like, look at her. You're not gonna get over on her. She sees through the bullshit. Let me give you a character. She's very Jessica Pearson, you know, for my Suits fans. Very Jessica Pearson energy, right? Very tough exterior. You are not getting one past her, and if you do, that was a lucky fucking day for your ass. You know what I mean? King of Swords is very... I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find a good example for King of Swords. I'm like, do I want to use the same show reference? I don't think so. I don't know. I feel like I can't find one right now that's like a perfect example of the King of Swords. You know who's King of Swords? Marty Byrde. For my fans who watch Ozark, okay? Marty Byrde is, obviously I watch a lot of white collar shows. Marty Byrde is very King of Swords, okay? Very King of Swords, very intelligent, he has to make decisions that are logical and smart because he knows the risk involved if he lets his emotion get the best of him, right? Very smart, very wise, very intelligent. So, with you, Gemini, And this could even be quite literally for you, Gemini, because we have the air signs present here. The cycle ending is you being in your masculine, and the challenge is leaning into your feminine. That could be a message here of being more receptive, being more, I want to say non-aggressive, leaning in, you know, whatever that means to you, leaning into your feminine energy, whatever that means to you. For me, this is very much tied to work as well. Maybe some of you guys have been climbing the corporate ladder or just like trying to get a promotion or something in your job for so long that you kind of a little burnt out. I'm saying that because that 9 of Wands came out again, okay? Perseverance, hard work, feeling like you want to give up. This could also be a message of being in charge. I feel like this cycle that's ending is you being in charge somehow. You being, like I said, in your masculine. There's some energy here, energy shift of like you either not having to deal with an authoritative figure. Can you clarify, please, let's get, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Please clarify the King of Swords for Gemini. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, just fill out reverse. It might be an end to, a lot of times when the Wheel of Fortune comes out reverse, and I don't use reversals in this deck, but it fell out reverse, it's about clinging to control, okay? So I think what's ending is like your need to control. Yeah. You just have to kind of let time and karma do its thing. The outcome for you, Gemini, is 5 of Pentacles. Need, feeling in need, feeling like you're left out in the cold, feeling like you're unsupported, which I hate to see here. That's why I wanted to clarify it with the Ace of Swords. But you guys know on my channel, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. So for you, Gemini, if you aren't already, because a lot of times the 5 of Pentacles relates to financial need, don't be going out. You don't need, you can skip a few Sunday brunches with the friends, okay? Put some of that money aside. You're going to need it this month. The Ace of Swords represents new ideas and new inspiration, new communication, maybe not so much inspiration, but aha moments of clarity, right? And new inspiration is more Ace of Wands. It's just clarity and information. You might receive some information about your finances that leave you in a really uncomfortable financial position. We had the cards to verify this: change, okay, and thoughts. I mean, I kind of hate this card, but maybe it's ruminating about something a lot. Some of you might experience a job loss. I don't wish that on any of you, but it's possible. With this change card, with this Wheel of Fortune reversed. This 9 of Wands, though, don't give up. All right? Don't give up. If that is the case, keep pushing ahead. There might even be a message, Gemini, where you don't feel secure enough to, I want to say validated enough, where you don't feel worthy enough to go after opportunities that you desire. You might need to work through that. You also need to allow yourself to give yourself some time and energy to brainstorm possible ways that you can embrace this Queen of Swords energy of being perceptive, embrace that Jessica Pearson energy, okay? It's giving very much overwhelm, Gemini. It's giving overwhelm, and you very much need to have acceptance, right? On how shit really is right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think the next 2 weeks are gonna be the best. And I didn't do my forecast, so I don't really know how this month is gonna end for you. If you want a mid-month, I don't have that on my website, but I should really offer those. I have mid-month check-ins that I do for myself. It's a spread. I mean, it's on my Pinterest. Maybe there's a link somewhere. I don't know. I have a spread called mid-month check-in, and sometimes I do them on my channel when I have time to just kind of see where the energy is for the rest of the month. But I don't know how this month is going to end. Like, let's just see if we can find out. Because I don't love this for you, and I just kind of want to see how things are working. By the end of January, where is Gemini left? Okay, we're going to figure it out. Page of Swords. You got to get, you know, I feel like Gemini, you've got to, it's all very mental. It's all very mental. Like, your mental health is what needs attention right now. And I don't mean that in a way where you need therapy. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. But I mean that in a way where you need to prioritize your mental health by not just therapy, journaling, meditation. Also consider about what you're putting in your body. Okay? You know, I don't necessarily hate dry January when people do a cleanse. I think it's necessary sometimes, because when you are able to kind of detox a little bit, you allow your brain to filter out. And when you're putting so much toxic shit in your body, all the processed sugar, all the wine, all the beer and alcohol, it affects your brain function. And I feel like, Gemini, you need to figure out how to clear your mind, because your thoughts, okay, are causing lack. I really hope that makes sense. Drop a comment below if it is. By the end of January, you're going to figure it out. Page of Swords is somebody who's very communicative, somebody who's very eager, okay? So you should be eager to achieve. Eager to find answers, eager to show how much they know. Okay, I spent a lot of time on that, Gemini. Drop some comments below if that's helpful. I just didn't want to leave you high and dry, okay? I really do hope that was helpful so much. Hi, Cancer. All right, really excited to do you since this full moon is in your sign. Hopefully my camera stops shaking. There we go. Ah, full moon in Cancer. Ooh. Let's see what we got for you. What cycle is closing for Cancer, please? Y'all also know I love my Cancer placements, my personal Cancer placements. So I always love a Cancer reading. I feel like I connect to my moon sign more than my rising sign. Some people feel like the opposite. They connect to their rising more than their moon sign. Which is so interesting, because for me, I'm a Leo sun ruled by the sun. And I'm a Cancer moon ruled by the moon. So like there's like that balance there. And then my Aquarius rising, I just never feel like I fit in. I just never feel like that's how I relate to my Aquarius. I'm rebellious as fuck, stubborn as fuck. And I just never feel like I fit in. I always feel like an odd one out. So strange. Despite how extroverted I am. All right. What potential obstacle is there for you, Cancer? What potential obstacle is there for you, Cancer? For this full moon. Potential obstacle. Hopefully none. And what is the outcome for this full moon for you? I hope this is a lovely full moon for you. I really do. What is the outcome for you, Cancer? All right, let us see. Okay. I like this energy. All right, so we've got the King of Wands as far as the cycle that's closing. King of Wands does represent fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in case that is important to you or if you're dealing with a fire sign at all. The King of Wands also represents somebody who is a visionary, somebody who is a leader, somebody who's in charge, somebody who others are following. It's somebody who's very inspirational. Sometimes I connect the King of Wands to the Emperor as well, because there is kind of like that masculine authoritative energy, but also, don't he look so sexy? I'm like, where is this man in real life? Where he at? I keep hearing leading, like maybe the cycle that's ending for you is leading. Because why would that be? Natural born leader, grand visions, long-term success is the upright keywords. Reverse poor leadership, aggressive goals, high expectations, personal direction. Ooh, that's good. Aggressive goals, I feel like, is good. That's what's really sticking out for me as far as like what cycle is closing. High expectations. Yeah, I like that for you. Considering also what's in front of me. I think for you, Cancer, you know, and I don't know about you, but speaking for myself, I did not start out 2025 with like grandiose dreams. Like I haven't even really sat and taken the time to clarify my goals. It's kind of just still on my head. I'm still kind of processing the goals I want to achieve because I'm trying to decide what I feel I can actually achieve, and what's actually realistic. I use that word lightly, but not so lightly. Realistic, anyway. But I kind of feel like that's the same vibe for you, Cancer. I feel like you're really not trying to take on more than you can right now. I think maybe you've done that, and I think really the past 6 months for you personally have just been a fucking roller coaster. And I feel like now that we're in a new year, numerically, not necessarily energetically, because I consider our new years to begin with the spring equinox, but whatever. Now that we're in a new numerical year, I feel like you're just like, I just want to do what I know that I can do and achieve and succeed. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. Reason why I'm saying that is because we've got the potential obstacle with the 9 of Wands. Okay, the 9 of Wands is like, you've been through so much, you've been through the jungle, you're tired, you're looking at how much further you have to go, and you're like, maybe I should just throw the towel in, maybe I should just give up. I don't know, but that's not the vibe. Excuse me, I don't know if you guys heard that burp. That's not the vibe, Cancer. You've already come so far, so long. The outcome is the 3 of Pentacles, teamwork, collaborations, working together. You need to figure out how to leverage the connections that you currently have in your life to achieve your goals. This feels like a very goal-oriented reading right now, Cancer. Maybe that's just where you are in your life right now. This doesn't really feel very relationship heavy to me. If it is relationship, it could be that some of you are separating from a fire sign, or someone who just has a lot of fiery energy and wondering how they're going to move on without them, and maybe leaning on your community for support. That could be a message, but I don't think that is the message. This feels very goal oriented to me. Like you have goals you want to achieve. You have some that you haven't achieved and you're wondering if you should just give up on them. But you've got to, I think more importantly, Cancer, especially because you're such a recluse, this full moon is reminding you not to try to do everything on your own. Whereas like Leos do everything on their own out of pride, you do everything on your own because you'd rather be alone. You'd rather not deal with people. And I think with this outcome card, the 3 of Pentacles, you realize and recognize the ways in which you need to work with others. Putting your heads together sometimes is the message of 3 of Pentacles, to achieve a common goal. This could even be working out. You know, maybe you're joining like a gym program, a workout program, or a Facebook group of people working out together. Maybe this could be a meetup group of entrepreneurs just to keep you motivated. This could be anything, but this feels very goal-oriented to me. It really does. Anything else, Spirit, for Cancer? Okay. Mature. You're mature. Like, I feel like you're coming at your goals with a new sense of mature. Is that focusing? Why isn't that focusing? I don't want to tap it. Y'all see it. I feel like you're coming at this situation with a new sense of maturity, Cancer. Just because you've already done something the immature way, the impulsive way, the unplanned, unthought out way. Does that make sense? Official person reversed just came out. Now, sometimes the official person could represent literally somebody, a decorated officer or somebody, a vet, a military person. But it could also be, it represents administration. It represents some sort of like red tape, like things that you have to deal with. Who's a keeper of order somehow. Does that make sense? Maybe you are someone who keeps order. I just kind of feel like you're having to consider this law or this order in a different way. Like maybe you've been used to doing things your own way as a rogue, like, you know, just kind of doing things however you wanted to do them, and you didn't really care too much for the parameters of like what other people said you need to do. And now I kind of just feel like you're like, you know what, let me go ahead and try to color within the lines. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense for you, Cancer. If it is, drop a comment below. But I love that this full moon is happening in your sign. Let's move on to Leo. Hi, Leo. Happy full moon. We are going to be looking into what cycle is closing for you, what is the potential obstacle, and the outcome. Is it the Nine of Pentacles? God, oh, it's the Knight of, yeah, it is the Knight of Pentacles. I thought it was the Nine of Pentacles, but Knight of Pentacles is coming out. Hard work and dedication. Okay, let's see. I'm doing you guys in the middle, so I hope I don't start to spiral, because sometimes when I do Leo in the middle, I'm going in order. Sometimes when I do Leo in the middle of my readings, I should be fine because I already did my own personal reading, so. Sometimes when I didn't finish my thought. Sometimes when I do Leo in the middle of the rest of the signs, if I go in order, sometimes I have the reading in the back of my mind and it's hard to focus on the rest of the signs. So sometimes I'll do Leo last, but I should be okay. I've done my own personal new moon reading, or excuse me, full moon reading. So I shouldn't have too much to ruminate about. I think it's important for me to separate what is mine from what is the collective's. You know what I mean? Okay. What cycle is closing for the collective, Leo? And what is potential challenge or outcome for the collective, Leo? And what is the outcome for the collective, Leo? This full moon, please. Outcome for Leo. All right, let's flip them. Okay. We got two queens. Interesting. All right, so first one is Queen of Wands. Okay. Is this focusing because it wasn't before? I think it's focusing, right? Yeah. Okay, so we got Queen of Wands here. For a cycle that's closing. So that is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is also like, Queen of Wands is very much considered a manifester. She is charismatic. She is someone who is able to kind of just like call in what she wants. She's very alluring. She's very charming. I mean, look at her. She's like, who wouldn't do anything for her, right? So interestingly, that cycle is ending. I don't use reversals in this deck, so it could also be, Leo, that you're ending a period of feeling reserved and withdrawn. Sometimes the Queen of Wands needs time to recharge and kind of step away. You know what I mean? And if you've been feeling that way for the past few weeks, that could be the message here. Yeah. Upright keywords: courage, confidence, independence, social butterfly, determination. Reverse meaning self-respect, self-confidence, introverted, reestablished sense of self. I kind of feel like it's the reverse meaning, Leo. Reestablishing your sense of self. I think you've, especially speaking as a Leo sun myself, the past few weeks, I've really been contemplating about that, of like my identity and my self-respect. I've been thinking about that a lot. this message. If you have lacked in confidence, the Queen of Wands reverse invites you to bring your energy and attention inward and focus on rebuilding your sense of self and resilience. You may have handed your power over to others by paying too much attention to their thoughts and opinions. Now you need to bring your awareness inward so you can hear yourself and access your personal strengths and talents. Discover who you are and be courageous in expressing you in everything you do, even if it's different from what others expect of you. Highlighting being more introverted than usual, honoring your needs, connecting with inner self. Yeah, I just kind of feel like this isn't quite Hermit, even though the Queen of Wands reverse could be synonymous to the Hermit. I think this is more like I really feel like it's more about you establishing your sense of self. I really do. I really think that's what the message is here. I think that's what you've been doing the past couple weeks. And I'm saying that here because the obstacle is the Five of Cups. There's a lot of emotional energy that has been caught up here, right? The Five of Cups is grief, sadness, loss. You're not the only one to have gotten the Five of Cups this month. So Aries also got it and Taurus also got it. But we're in this, Mars is in Cancer retrograde. So I feel like all of us are just hyper emotional. So the potential challenge here for you is, Leo, I just kind of get this energy that you're really hard on yourself right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm really not going to lie. With this energy of like kind of tapping into your self-worth, your self-respect, your confidence, like you're trying to rebuild yourself, but the obstacle is the Five of Cups. I think you're trying to get back to a version of yourself that you loved. Ooh, this is coming into intuitively. But you're also beating yourself down for the mistakes that you've made since you were an older version of yourself. Does that make sense? And you just have to accept and acknowledge that those mistakes I don't want to be cliche. Those mistakes, while you have to live with them, also matured you, okay? The outcome is Queen of Pentacles, which I love to see here. Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is financially independent. She is handling her house and her home and her family and her relationship. She is the definition of Miss Independent, okay? But in the best way where she, actually maybe Nine of Pentacles would be Miss Independent. Whereas, Queen of Pentacles is very much matriarch, very much matriarch. She's got the work life is good. The house life is good. She hustled for it. She really worked hard for it. Like, this is not a bitch that like sleeps in on Sundays. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like because Leo, you're so career and goal oriented, you're transmuting the energy that you've been feeling into your work. And that's how you're transmuting this low vibrational energy of where you might be feeling sorry for yourself or even grieving something. There might literally be something external that you're grieving, relationships, family, jobs, whatever. You're transmuting this grief and putting that energy into your work life. And the outcome is like, you're going to succeed. I love that for you. Love that for you so much. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Drop some comments below. I'm going to move on to Virgo. Hi, Virgo. Happy full moon in Cancer. All right, we're looking into what cycle is closing for you, what is potential obstacle, and the outcome, okay? So for Virgo, what cycle is closing for them? What is the potential obstacle for Virgo? And what is the outcome for Virgo? Okay. Okay, so we have the cycle that's closing is Page of Cups. Interesting. Page of Cups represents quite a lot of things. So I'm going to clarify this because to me, the Page of Cups is one of those things where it just represents quite a lot. And I want to make sure I really know what we're talking about here. Potential obstacle is the Tower, which is massive change and chaos. And then the outcome is King of Swords. So whatever obstacle is coming your way this full moon, I feel like you'll be able to handle it with intelligence and, dare I say, ease. So let's clarify this Page of Cups. Please clarify the cycle that's closing for Virgo. Please clarify the cycle that's closing for Virgo for this Page of Cups. Let's clarify the Page of Cups for Virgo. Nine of Swords coming out. Nine of Wands coming out. Okay, so a lot of, what's the word I want to say? A lot of, I want to use a lot of adjective. I wanted to use fear, uncertainty. I wanted to say sensitivity. Number one, the Page of Cups represents the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, okay? It usually represents somebody young, but it doesn't always have to. Being that it's in front of me, sometimes the Page of Cups represents a creative project that you want to put out there, but you're not sure right now, Virgo, if it's the right time, if it's worth it, if it'll go according to plan, because we have the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands to clarify this. So it may be keeping you up all night. Number one, with the Nine of Swords, you're like really spinning your wheels about it. You're worried about it. You're fearful about it. And the Nine of Wands is like, do I continue on with this or not? I've put so much work into this. I think this is pointing to a creative project to me. And I'm thinking about, like, it's January 13th. And I know Beyonce has an announcement tomorrow. She's also a Virgo. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what this is for her. I don't know. But Beyonce may or may not be part of my collective. I don't know. So I feel like this is pointing to a creative project. Again, Page of Cups is one of those things that it just relates to a lot. So let's talk about it here. Okay, upright, creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibilities. Reversed is new ideas, doubting intuition, creative blocks, emotional immaturity. Yeah, sometimes people also refer to the Page of Cups as like happy surprise. Maybe like they're surprised. I don't really think that this is about surprises for you. There's some level of vulnerability here. I think you've had to be very vulnerable in a way that you're not used to, Virgo. Where you have felt insecure and felt you maybe yourself feel like a child because you're not an expert at something. I'm getting a large feeling of insecurity. In what area of your life, though? In what area of Virgo's life are they feeling insecure? Okay, so we had 3 cards come out. Courtship. Okay, family, room, and sudden wealth. So, I mean, this could be in, I don't know, all 3 areas: your relationship, your home, and your money. I don't know. You could be worried about quite a lot. Could be worried about quite a lot. I just feel like there's a lot of sensitivity, if I really could sum it up. So that cycle is going to be ending for you this full moon. So, but because it's a full moon, I really wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of blowout that happens, some sort of big moment, the Tower is unexpected, but also too, the Page of Cups is, like I said, sometimes it relates to like surprises. I think there's going to be some like unexpected blowout this full moon, but I'm not gonna lie, I low-key feel like you're manifesting this from your energy. I think your anxiety is creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Something that you're worried about is being manifested because you're giving so much mental energy to what you don't want to happen. And I don't have time to unpack that if you're not really into law of attraction, but that's basically the idea of law of attraction. What you give your mental energy to is what you beget in your life. So, I think there's a lot of anxiety that you're thinking about giving energy to, and thus a big kerfuffle happens. However, you will handle. I feel like you want this low key though, because the outcome is a King of Cups. Someone who's very wise, someone who's very intelligent, someone who's, you know, tactical. I think you need an opportunity, Virgo, to feel like you still can be relied upon. You can still be the one to have the plan to figure it out. I feel like your position as somebody who has it all together, you feel that position is fading, and it feels like you're subconsciously manifesting an event where you can be the one to save the day. That is a very interesting message that I never thought I would say. And I know you're probably like, Whitney, why would I willingly create a fucked up situation myself? I don't think you would willingly create a fucked up situation for yourself. I'm thinking subconsciously you create a fucked up situation for yourself. But at the same time, I'm saying I think you kind of need it, because I think you need to remind yourself you still that bitch. Does that make sense? I know that's a really crazy message, but that's the message. Let me know if it resonates, okay? Happy full moon. I love you. Okay, Libra. Hi, baby. All right. We're looking into the cycle that's closing for you, this full moon in Cancer, potential obstacle, and the outcome for you. Okay. What cycle is closing for Libra, please? What is the potential obstacle for Libra? And what is the outcome for Libra? Outcome for Libra. I like this energy for you. Okay, so we've got Three of Wands here as the, is it focusing? Oh, don't play with me again. Is it focusing? I don't want to tap the screen because then it's gonna like, y'all can see that, right? Y'all got it. But what is it, is it focusing my fingers? Sorry, y'all. Let me see if what happens if why can't it focus okay, whatever. Three of Wands is where you are closing cycles. So Three of Wands is progress, waiting on your ships to come in, waiting to take off, waiting to take flight. So I think you've been in this period of waiting, of like, okay, when's gonna be my moment? And potential obstacle is the Ace of Wands. There's going to be an opportunity. All of the aces are opportunities. Whether or not something works out is up to you. The Ace of Wands is an opportunity for inspiration. A new, think new projects, think new, especially creative projects, something like new ideas of inspiration and new, sometimes it can be new jobs. It can be new jobs, but it would be a job that you really like, that really inspires you. I don't really see this as a potential obstacle. The only obstacle could be making the transition, right? Of like where you are versus where you want to be, of making that change. The outcome is the Six of Pentacles for you. We've got giving and receiving as the outcome. The Six of Pentacles is usually about balance. I don't love the imagery for this card, but I do understand the imagery of this card. It's usually somebody who's very abundant and they have more than enough to spare. But as you can see, there's people in the background who could really use a hand, but he's just kind of sitting on this pile of money and not helping. Usually the Six of Pentacles is about generosity. And it's about somebody who gives freely to people in need, or sometimes the message is about receiving if you're in need. And that's why I think the imagery of this card is very interesting. When I see this as the outcome though, I really see this as either you receiving the help that you need to succeed, or I was just recently reminded that the Six of Pentacles also represents paying debts. You could be paying back your debts, because I had this card in the position of what to overcome in my personal forecast, and I was like, yeah, I owe some folks. I do owe some folks. I need to settle some debts. Okay, so it could be that too, but I think you'll have what you need to do that, if that makes sense to you. I really hope this message is mostly about receiving help. I don't think this is about you giving help. I think this is about you receiving help. Can we clarify please this energy for Libra? Courthouse is coming up, so decisions being made. It could involve a legal matter. It doesn't have to. Clarify please the Six of Pentacles, please, for Libra. Expectation. I feel like you're waiting on some money, Libra. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe waiting on a judgment. Maybe waiting on a payout of some sort. Maybe waiting on some invoices after you didn't decided, hey, you said you was gonna pay me by the 15th. Where the fuck that money at? You know, kind of thing. I feel like you're waiting on some money, but I think you're gonna get it. Is Libra gonna get it? First of all, is Libra gonna get this? Three of Swords coming out. Is Libra gonna get this money? Okay, we have the World and Six of Swords and Three. I think this is how you feel right now. Three of Swords, like a lot. But we have transition and the World. So major accomplishment and Six of Swords, moving on to calmer waters. I think there's more so there's going to be a resolution to this situation so that you can move on. Whatever it is for you. I think you're expecting a resolution to an issue. So, again, so that you can move on. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and now you've got this opportunity that I feel like you want to take, but I don't think you can take it until you resolve some issue or some conflict with somebody else. There seems to be, I feel like there's always another person involved, right? Because if it was just a matter of you dealing with you, there wouldn't be any issue. You would just make the decision. But I think you have other people to consider here. That's my message. Let me know if that's resonating for you, Libra. And let's move on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Hi, baby. What is up? I love, did you guys see that trending video of the Grinch? Hey, what is up, my guy? I feel like that was the best thing. I wish I didn't make a TikTok about it, but I loved seeing all of the TikToks created from that. I did finally watch the original, which was hilarious. And then it was funny because like all the other people who were playing the Grinch in like other parts of the world were being asked to do that, and they were just like, ugh, so annoyed. They were like, I'm not even like, I want to play the Grinch how I want to play the Grinch. So funny. Anyway, I don't know why I went on that spiel. Anyway, Scorpio, we're looking into what cycle's closing for you, what potential obstacle is in the way, and the outcome for you. So what cycle's closing for Scorpio, please, this full moon. Oh. The High Priestess and Eight of Wands just wanted to come out. So following your intuition and things moving quickly. Okay, that's kind of quick message right there. Okay, stop, Spirit. Dang. Potential obstacle, please, for Scorpio. Outcome, please, for Scorpio. All right. Okay. So we're working. We got a lot of work to do because you got Two Pentacles and Queen of Wands. All right, so Page of Pentacles is a cycle that's closing for you. The Page of Pentacles is somebody who's manifesting. All of the pages are messenger cards. But I often see the Page of Pentacles as someone who's dedicated, who's hardworking. They're trying to show that they're invested so that they can advance their life. You know what I mean? They're trying to manifest opportunities, create opportunities, but they're also trying to learn in the process. They're trying to show their dedication. The potential obstacle, also, Page of Pentacles represents the earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. The potential obstacle is Knight of Pentacles, which again is earth sign energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. But this is also when you graduate your energy from the page to the Knight. So whereas the cycle that you're ending is the page, just trying to learn, just trying to go. Now you're stepping into the Knight of Pentacles where you're like, okay, I got the hang of this. I know what I'm supposed to do. I just need to rinse and repeat. Like you've learned what you need to learn. So now you're just trying to grow your seed. You know what I mean? Think of it as a farmer, like as a young kid, you're just trying to learn how to manage the land, how and what the chores are. But then that's like the cycle that you're closing. Now the obstacle is you just kind of stepping into and being comfortable with the one who does it by themselves. Like your training period is over. Training season's over basically. And I think you're just trying, the potential obstacle or challenge for you with this full moon is just stepping into feeling comfortable on your own, managing all that you have by yourself. I don't even want to say by yourself, like you're completely alone, but being responsible for all of the things that are on your plate. You know what I mean? The outcome is the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But I think this is somebody who's like being recognized and like, I feel like there's a lot of praise and celebration. Like, I feel like people are seeing how good of a job you're doing, how good you are of what you do. You're getting invited to parties. Like, people are really seeing you this full moon. I feel like your hard work is being recognized and people want to be around you because of it. Does that make sense? She's confident, she's sexy, she's awesome. Like, people love the Queen of Wands. And she's a big manifester. She just has this charismatic, alluring energy that people enjoy. So I feel like you're tapping into that this full moon. Let's get one more, please. Clarify the outcome for Scorpio, please. Adjudication as well is coming out for you, Scorpio. So perhaps there is some sort of resolution happening with somebody, resolving some sort of conflict, perhaps. Usually the adjudication is about a decision being made. It could go in your favor, it might not, but I would say with the Queen of Wands here, something's going in your favor. So let me know how that goes for you. Okay, we're moving on to Sagittarius. Page of Cups wants to come out. Okay, Sagittarius, we're looking into what cycle is closing for you, what is potential obstacle or challenge, and the outcome for you, this full moon in Cancer. Okay. What cycle is closing for Sagittarius, please? What is the potential obstacle, please, for Sagittarius? And what is the outcome, please, for Sagittarius, this full moon in Cancer? Okay, lots of fours. I feel like a lot of signs are getting the Nine of Wands. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So, Four of Pentacles as far as cycle that's closing. Four of Pentacles represents security, feeling, also holding back. The Four of Pentacles is somebody who like only has just enough to pay their bills and grocery shop. Okay, that is the energy and the vibe of Four of Pentacles. They're not doing any more than what they can, than what they know they can. Their hands are very closed and they're not open to receiving more because they don't want to risk potentially losing what they know they have to remain secure. Does that make sense? So for example, the Four of Pentacles is not going to the lottery. They're not spending $1 on the lottery ticket to potentially win. They're not risky. The Four of Pentacles is not risky. They're like, oh, the Mega Millions is up. Let me go ahead and like put a little dollar in. They don't have it. They're like, this is for groceries and bills and that's it. The same energy applies to relationships. It could be somebody who's holding back their energy. Somebody who's not open. Sometimes the Four of Pentacles can represent to feeling clingy, but I don't think that's the message here. Clinging on to what you have so that because you don't want to lose it, you know. I don't think that's the energy here, Sagittarius. I think the energy is your energy of being conservative, or feeling restricted, feeling limited, I should say. I think that cycle's coming to an end. The potential challenge, though, is the Nine of Wands. You know that in order for you to get out of this feeling of restriction or conservative energy, that you got to, you know, make a push and go through the jungle, if you will, the metaphorical jungle to advance. But I feel like you're so beaten down from maybe failed attempts that you're like, it's just a little safer to stay here. It's just a little safer because I know what to expect. But I think you want to do more, but I think you're afraid of failing again. I think you're afraid of failing. But at the same time, you're like, well, if I do nothing, then I'm just going to be stuck. I'm only going to have money for gas and groceries the rest of my life. The outcome is the Four of Cups. Okay, the outcome is Four of Cups, which is kind of apathetic energy. It's like, also too, I want you to acknowledge that the Four of Pentacles in another deck is considered luxury, which I kind of agree. The Four of Cups is like, she's got a lot of options around her. She just doesn't like any of them. So that's why it's considered luxury. It's like, you're so blessed to have options. You just don't feel like they feel right. You're waiting for that right thing, that right moment. I would say, Sagittarius, I don't know that I would look at this negatively. I think I would just allow yourself to be patient with yourself so that the energy can align. I also want you to remember that we're in, this winter season. We're in a season where we need to be patient and gentle with ourselves. A lot of things are not really going to be manifested, or excuse me, we're not going to see too much growth until really spring, which is the energetic new year, right? We're in a new numerical year. We're not in a new energetic year. We don't enter that new year until the spring equinox, when things thaw, when things begin to grow again. And so I just want you to have patience with yourself and keep that in perspective, that you don't need to rush, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. You don't need to rush. So this full moon, you may not be feeling like you're at your absolute peak, but I think that's okay. I think you should allow yourself to acknowledge, okay, I don't really like these options, but that doesn't mean I have to go with any of them. But I do need to keep pressing forward. Does that make sense? Clarify this, please, for Sagittarius. Journey wanted to come out. Y'all always trying to travel. Clarify this for marriage is here, flipped out. Clarify 4 of Cups for Sag, please. Okay, is that gift? Official person, again, this came out for another sign too. I forgot which one. Yeah, I feel like there's just some administrative things to deal with. An official person could be someone administrative, somebody who is in uniform, but it usually is somebody who's involved in some sort of like process or rules and regulations and such. Clarify the 4 of Cups, please, as outcome for Sagittarius. Ooh. Clarify the outcome, please, for Sagittarius. 9 of Swords. A lot of anxiety here, Sag. A lot of anxiety. I feel like you're worrying so much. You know what it is? You already know what you do and don't want to do. But the 9 of Swords, especially with this full moon in Cancer, it's a very emotional sign. You're worried about missing an opportunity, which I think is like you're like, you don't want to take any of these options, but I think you've got some responsibility here, right? People may be relying on you, that you're worried that if you take none of these fucking options, that you'll be in a worse position than you currently are. And I think all of that stems from a lack mindset, Sagittarius, and that's not easy to unprogram. I'm just validating that. And I understand the desire to be practical and to be wise, right? But I think I think this full moon really is more about you clocking that energy and realizing, okay, I'm really giving a lot of energy to the worry. What if it doesn't work out? What if I fail again? What if I never find what I'm really good at? What if I never find the right person? What if I get my heart broken on the apps again? Whatever. I think I want you to actually journal about all the ways that your ideal life can unfold for you. I actually really want you to do that. That's your homework, Sagittarius. I want you to journal or, do a video diary or audio diary of all the ways it's possible for your reality to manifest. So for example, if you are wanting to find your partner and you're really tired of the apps, a lot of people are really tired of the apps, you could meet your partner through friends. I think I know somebody who, they're married. She was literally put together from like their friends or her sister's friends or something. Like there was some party and they were like, oh, I know somebody who's single. Like, I think you might like her. And they were connected that way and they really hit it off and they got married and they have like 2 kids. Like, it could be you're introduced through friends, or you could run into somebody at the grocery store, if you're open and not running away from people who like give you the eye. You could meet somebody at an event. You could do speed dating possibly. There's so many ways. It's walking your dog. I'm just staying on this topic of like ways you could meet somebody. At work, on a work trip perhaps even. I want you to journal all the ways that it's possible for you to meet someone. A new person, I hate this one, but this is an idea. A new person could move into your neighborhood that maybe you really hit it off with. That's kind of, I don't like, for me, I'm very big on like, I don't like to shit where I eat. Like, I'm somebody who, like, I will date somebody at work in a hot minute. I don't care. I will date somebody at work. I will not date somebody in my neighborhood. I don't want to say neighborhood because I recently did date somebody who literally lived a block from me, but that was tragic, and that's exactly why I don't do that. It just feels a little too close for comfort, because if it doesn't work out, it's awkward. You got to see that person every day. Whereas at work, I kind of just feel like, I don't know, that's I won't unpack that, but that's my personal feeling. But I'm just saying, maybe somebody moves in and your neighbor is hot as hell and it works out. I don't know. You get my point, Sagittarius? All right, you got it. You got your assignment. I love you so much. Good luck. Okay, Capricorn, we're going to look into what cycle is closing for you, what potential challenge exists for you this full moon, and the outcome. Okay, let's see. What cycle is closing for Capricorn, please? What is the potential obstacle, please, for Capricorn? And what is the outcome for Capricorn, please? Excuse me. Wow, very positive reading. So, cycle that's closing for you is the Emperor, which is interesting. The Emperor typically represents fire sign. Aries energy specifically represents Aries. And it is also about leadership. It is about being in charge, being in control, having the plan, having the authority. It is someone who is an authoritative voice, a figure. Think of exactly an emperor, right? So maybe this is about you no longer being in charge of something. Can you clarify the emperor, please, for Capricorn? So 10 of Cups just flew out. So perhaps this is related to your partner, divine masculine. I know most of my viewers are female, so perhaps not that I'm making an assumption that all of you are heterosexual, but this could be your husband. This could be the father of your children, or perhaps you yourself are a father. This is giving fatherhood to me. Perhaps this is an end to any challenges in relation to your spouse. 8 of Swords here. Maybe you've been in your head feeling very stuck in relation to an issue with either the father of your kids or perhaps your father. I'm saying this because the 10 of Cups relates to family, so this feels like a family issue to me. Maybe you're feeling like this father figure is being too controlling. Sometimes that's the message with the Emperor. Reverse, usually, but I don't use reversals in this deck, so I have to consider both. Messages. The 6 of Swords is here. So yeah, this is telling me that we're making a transition towards calmer waters. Things are calming down. If things have been very tense with this person, things should smooth out soon with this full moon. I think you are going to have the opportunity just energetically with any full moon to resolve any issues. Anything that's still under the surface is usually coming to surface with the full moon, so you can really like get to the root of issues. The potential obstacles is 8 of Pentacles, so work. I think work is definitely an issue here. Maybe you are working too much or your partner's working too much. So maybe maybe that's the root of the issue or the conflict here with this Emperor. This could also be your boss, potentially, but I think with this 10 of Cups, I really think it's mostly related to your family or relationship or spouse. The 8 of Pentacles is someone who's very hardworking and dedicated. So I think work is an issue here. I think there's an issue of maybe spending too much time on work or feeling whether you or your partner are too invested in your personal projects. The outcome is 3 of Pentacles, though. We've got to work as a team. You got to work as a team with your partner. You know, I think maybe you guys have been trying to do your own thing for a while. I do my thing, you do your thing, we just leave each other alone. But you've got to be more collaborative. You've got to work together. And I think this full moon is allowing you, especially with it being in Cancer, I think you and your person are really talking about your feelings and really getting clear on your feelings. Even though I don't have any cups here besides the 10 of Cups, I think this is more going back to our grounding message with acceptance of where you are and where things are, and purity specifically of like cleaning the slate, right? I think you and your person are really laying your feelings out on the table of where things are, so that you guys can actually create a plan to move forward and work together as you operate within your family unit. Does that make sense? That is the message to me. Let me know if that's connecting. I definitely know a Capricorn in my life that connects to, but let me know if it relates for you specifically. Drop a comment below. I do read them. Let's move on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what we got for you, babe. Okay, we're looking into what cycle is ending for you this full moon in Cancer, what the potential obstacle is, and the outcome. Cycle is closing for Aquarius, please. What is the potential obstacle for Aquarius? And what is the outcome for Aquarius, please? Wow. Damn, Aquarius. I think you have the most positive reading, to be honest. Okay, so cycle that's closing for you is the High Priestess. This is interesting. You guys know I don't use my use reversals in this deck. Normally, I would consider the High Priestess upright to be very positive, being very connected with your intuition, being very connected with the divine, and knowing just and feeling what's right for you and what the next step is and how to move through your life, or even guiding others. But in this sense, I feel like the cycle that's closing is most likely connected to you feeling disconnected from your intuition. I do feel that maybe you were second guessing and doubting yourself a lot. I think sometimes one of the messages of the High Priestess reverse is also trustworthy. Maybe sometimes this is a message like you don't feel like you can trust people, and so you hold back, you know, information and reveal. Not necessarily like the Seven of Swords, like where you're trying to be intentionally deceitful. It's more like you're trying to observe if you can really, who you can really trust. Secrets, disconnected from intuition, withdrawal and silence. Yeah, high key on the withdrawal and silence message. Others may be keeping information from you or talking about you behind your back and sharing with truths rather than making assumptions or diving into the depths of paranoia. Have an open and honest conversation to surface and address these secrets. Okay. Think of the High Priestess as the calm center inside of you that is untouched by your external world, and trust that she is always there when you need her. Whenever you worry that things are just getting too crazy, find a quiet space and meditate so you can hear her voice. If you stop thinking or fretting about your issue and instead clear the way for your intuition to speak to you, the answer will follow. Have faith in the universe and allow yourself to be in the flow with its energy. Surrender and let go. I think this message is about like the cycle that's ending is like feeling disconnected from your intuition. That is really what it is for me. I don't think it's that, because in my head, you're never ending a cycle of being intuitive, right? You're never ending that. We all have that inner knowing, that like little inkling of, I think I should go to this gas station today. You know what I mean? So I think in this position of like, what cycle is closing? I really feel like it's more feeling disconnected. Let's see if we can clarify the High Priestess, please. The Devil's coming out. Maybe even unsure of what to do about potentially a Capricorn or potentially an attachment. This could be something or someone. But clarify the High Priestess, please. So the Moon, all these people coming out. Pisces energy. Yeah, feeling confused. The Moon is definitely connected with intuition, where things feel foggy. I think you're coming out of that, Aquarius. I'm not going to spend more time on it. And I think you can, intuitively, I just feel like you know what I mean when I say that. There's something that's been on your mind that you just haven't been sure what to do about it. And now I think that fog is lifting. Potential obstacle is Six of Wands, which is interesting here. There's going to be some level of success that comes, or achievement or recognition that potentially you're unsure if you can trust, or if it's maybe you might be wondering if this is for real, is this here to stay, is maybe even wondering if it's too good to be true. There may also be a message, Aquarius, not to let the success get to your head now that you're realigned with your intuition. You got to stay on track, stay on course. But the outcome is 10 of Cups. Like, I'm not too worried about potential issues for you, because the outcome is 10 of Cups. It's big, happy family, dreams come true, and wish fulfillment. There is a blessing for you lining up in this full moon in Aquarius. Really not going to lie. Clarify the 10 of Cups, please, for message. There's a message coming through for you. Clarify the 10 of Cups for Aquarius, please. Occupation, work. Maybe a message about work. Maybe an opportunity you've always wanted. I don't have any aces here, so it doesn't seem like it will be a new opportunity. But you might be rewarded in some way, is what it feels like, Aquarius. Expect some sort of reward, some sort of recognition. This full moon, that potentially, or maybe your family and friends are celebrating you for something in some way, for maybe a lot of hard work you've been putting in. That's what it feels like to me. I'm not gonna lie. If that's connecting with you, drop a message below, and let me know how this is resonating. But I'm gonna move on to Pisces. I really think you're having the best full moon, Aquarius. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Pisces, I'm pretty sure I'm recording. Okay, here we go. We're on to you, Pisces. Last one, last but not least. What cycle is closing for you? Ooh, throw my laptop down. What cycle is closing for you? What potential obstacles are coming? 9 of Pentacles is coming out. Love to see that here. Okay, strength as well. Spirit, calm down, calm down, calm down. What cycle is closing for Pisces this full moon, please? It should be a favorable full moon since it's in another water sign as yours. What potential obstacle awaits you? And what is the outcome of this full moon, please? Outcome of this full moon. Okay, wow, that's great. So, we have Judgment here as the cycle that's closing, Pisces. Judgment, in my opinion, can answer. It represents so much depending on what's around it. For you, as far as the cycle that's closing, I think this is more connected to a decision that's being made. A lot of times the Judgment is having to answer for something. Having to answer for your decisions, having to atone for something, having to face the music kind of thing. I just kind of feel like, though, in relation to your reading, Pisces, I think the period of you I'm trying to find the right words to say this. Of you be like, imagine that you like were the one who really fucked up in a situation where like let's say you wrecked a car. Let's say you wrecked the car and your spouse just wouldn't let you hear the end of it. I feel like, you know, they kept, and if we wouldn't have to struggle if you didn't crash the car, da, 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 da. And I feel like you just couldn't hear the end of it. Like you were in the wrong. You were totally in the wrong, and like you just kept having to apologize and apologize and apologize. I feel like that's what's coming through here. But I feel like that period is over. Of like, you're finally able to move on. Whether you were in the wrong or someone else is the wrong, maybe you were the one who feeling like you were passing judgment on someone else for their wrongs. Okay? I just kind of feel like this energy can't be sustained anymore. I think it's kind of exhausting for you and the other party or parties. So that period is ending. well, potential obstacle is the world. The world is major accomplishment. It's chapters closing, it's moving on, it's leveling up. So this often comes when we have to let go of something. It's not quite like the death card where it's at death and rebirth, but it's with any transition, you're having to leave something behind. Can you please clarify the major accomplishment for Pisces here? Seven of Swords, strategy. Sometimes also evasiveness. It may be that you, Pisces, want to end something. I think when I was reading a lot of my comments back in December, I think a lot of you guys were going through separations. It might be that you guys want to end a situation, but like somebody's avoiding you. It's making it, they're making it difficult to move on. I think you're really ready for it, but perhaps the other person is not being communicative or something. You're really ready to move past something, but like you just can't seem to sit down and have like a civil conversation with somebody. And I used to really struggle with that energy of like, why won't they just give me the opportunity to just like talk to them and like resolve? And I had to realize it's because not everybody has the same emotional capacity or maturity as you do. And sometimes you're never going to get that opportunity to clear the air with somebody. So just know, Pisces, you might have to step into this energy of moving on with or without being able to resolve, with or without being able to clear the air. Does that make sense? You will just have to accept that you did your best and now it's time to move on. I wonder if that's a tarot combination, because the Judgment is right before the World. Like right before a major accomplishment, you have a Judgment. Let's see if that's a tarot combination. And I mean right before the World in terms of like in the actual tarot. Okay, keywords: completion, integration, accomplishment, travel. Maybe some of you guys are traveling. Reversed meanings: seeking personal closure, shortcuts, and delays. Okay, shortcuts could connect here. If it's, you guys know I don't use reversals, but Seven of Swords would definitely be shortcuts. Like you're wanting to move on, but like you're trying to go about it. Taking a shortcut, taking like, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. No, that's surprising that there isn't a tarot combination here for the World and the Judgment. Let's go back to Judgment, see if it's there. The Fool of Temperance. No, it's not. Judgment. So let me quickly read those keywords. Judgment, rebirth, inner calling, absolution. Reverse is self-doubt, inner critic, ignoring the call. Okay. Outcome is Ace of Pentacles, Pisces. Even with all this being said, there's going to be an opportunity for a new beginning. This could be monetarily, as the Ace of Pentacles typically relates to work and resources and the material. So let's see where this new opportunity is going to be for you. A lot of time, remember, the aces offer possibility. You have to be the one to see a situation through. High Priestess coming out. Use your intuition. Perhaps an opportunity you feel intuitively guided towards. The divine is helping you. Wheel of Fortune. Wow, Pisces, you are really coming out of this full moon with a big win. Wow. Wow. A lot of major arcana here. Look at all this major arcana. Major arcana represent big transitions in your life. So this full moon is really feeling like you're able to wrap some shit up. I feel like you're able to move on in some way. There's the energy is clearing for you to move on. It's really highlighting that purity and even truthfully acceptance for you as well, for our grounding messages. I hope that was helpful. If it is, drop a comment below, Pisces. I'd love to see this here. The Wheel of Fortune could also be like a monetary gain. You might get like a bonus, or you might get like an unexpected payout. Maybe it is expected, I don't know. But maybe you just didn't know when you were going to get it. Some companies pay out bonuses in January. I think there's some financial win here. But it could relate to other areas in your life as well. Some sort of opportunity being presented to you. Whether or not you take it is up to you, but I think it's coming to you gratefully. You'll gratefully receive this. Yeah, I love that. So those are my messages for our full moon in Cancer. Thank you so much for watching this video. Drop some comments below, engage with me, let me know how this is connecting with you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. And don't forget, go ahead to my page. I think there should be a button here on this video for you to join my newly created memberships, Light Keepers, and that is where you will receive my monthly forecast for February and for the recurring months. Thanks so much. I love you for being here. Thank you, and have a great rest of January.